Where to?
Wherever is out of town. I want to say Holmes' Street. Street. Nope, not there. Lord Chief Justice Office? Yeah.
And they hinted at it in the conversation.
Listen. I'm like a sleeping dolphin.
Made good time.
Oh.
This is you.
I took an express train back to London.
I can hear Lord Strongheart, can you?
Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone.
Oops. Is everything in place?
Is this Kazuma?
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to see him. I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork.
It's...
Kazuma-sama!
Your timing is impeccable. It is. No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry. Yes.
I'm sure you don't believe it, of course. Lord Strongheart? That Lord Von Zieks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson.
I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zieks for this crime. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective.
Oh no, surely not!
It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we could show our world the justice system's swift and equitable processes. So does that mean the trial is tomorrow? Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions. Kazuma. But of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings, leading the prosecution. Wait, what? Kazuma?
True.
What?
My dream come true.
As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law.
Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor?
I don't think
I
so.
love how he's just like double wielding a rapier and a katana. Is it a rapier? I think we established that it was that.
I don't think it's a rapier. I think it's
Just
actually.
a sword.
Look at the handle. No, I don't think it was because he cut the cork.
Yeah, he
open.
used it to cut the cork open.
You can't slice something with a rapier. I didn't want to click that. We've already read this. I was trying to hit back. I don't think there's anything new in here. There's a small chance the bookshelf is new, but I don't think it is. Oh my god! Stop talking!
It's a perfect opportunity for me to finish this email.
Enjoy your lurk cool name, of Yaoi Waluigi. and whoever else was with Waluigi. Okay. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no. People all over the Empire will be watching closely how it unfolds. There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock. Quite so. The public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those whose escaped convictions subsequently died mysterious deaths.
But Lord Van Zeeks firmly denies any involvement in such matter.
And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent. That's certainly true. Or it has been, at least, until now.
Ah,
No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history. So, Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow. That's right.
but he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart.
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree? Absolutely. I have no doubt at all that Kazuma will be razor sharp as a prosecutor.
But why Kazuma-sama? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It was a personal request. I was asked to be assigned to the trial.
You asked for this, but why?
It's a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
Yeah.
It'll all be clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Although the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation.
I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented, quite exceptional, in fact.
You are quite right, Miss Mikotoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. Ah. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the Empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks. So that's why I happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution.
Ryunosuke. Let's see how your skills have been honed after practicing law in this land for so many...
Oh god, that was a little choppy.
Oh no.
Kazuma, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Oh yes, we noticed there was a gun at the scene of the Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Zeeks? That would be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene.
I was wondering, so do you want me to read it?
No. I was dramatic pause.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know.
That's right, Mr. Naruto. Be direct!
It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine.
In that case, it could actually belong to the victim.
No. Gregson had his gun on his person. What?
No.
No. What about Lord Van Zeeks? He claims it's currently not in his possession. What? According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant is no proof that it's actually his.
No, of course not. Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zeeks.
I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be alright now.
Has memory completely returned?
Yes, completely. I remember everything. Including what I was coming here to do.
The song started, I felt a shiver. Right.
It's pretty good. Katsuma-sama. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London. Destiny awaited. I'm so sorry for what happened. Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return to the way it was before.
Huh? What do you mean?
I am a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon.
Doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Stoneheart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our Empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
Oh. Before you go, Ryuna,
Oh, what is it, Kazuma?
I just wanted to thank you. Kazuma-sama, what? You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, Mr. Hur didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. Oh! I actually have a favor to ask.
Which is?
This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me, as a defense counsel.
I don't think that's my choice. Why? What's all this about?
I know you have what it takes.
But Lord Van Zeeks would never put his fate in my hands.
On the contrary, he recognizes your talent.
He does.
It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this.
That's
Lord Van Zeeks and the Inspector Gregson.
a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. And who's the third person?
Really? Really? We roasted him to filth. We know who he is.
This memory doesn't go back that long. That was like weeks ago.
I mean, I guess so. But even with the argument that you said about the people wanting us to make the connections, like literally 5 seconds later, Kazuma's answering it. We could have just been like, "Oh, is that?" And then Kazuma's like, "Yes." You know, like.
Well, I
there's
mean,
a
they
way
gotta
that it could have been written.
they gotta commit then when they go full Ryunosuke has goldfish memory. Like, can't do it halfway. You have to be consistent.
It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office.
In Gregson's office, you mean?
Yes, what I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it.
Gregson photograph. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this?
Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over.
What are you doing, Kazuma? Move?
I have an idea. Do you want me to tell you my idea?
What?
Remember in the trial of that racer guy, I think he was a racer, maybe an actor of some sort, where we knew, spoilers for the first game, second game, third game perhaps? I don't even remember. Either way, we were defending somebody who was guilty.
He was an actor,
and-
but okay.
Yeah,
Matt and Guard.
Matt Engard. We were defending somebody who was guilty, but we didn't know he was guilty at the beginning, but then we figured out he was guilty. But then you had to like ping pong with Edgelord. I know his name is not Edgelord. Please give this to me. We were ping ponging with him to make that come to light. I think this is probably something very similar is going to happen in this, where Kazuma wants us to defend because he knows that he's the only person who's going to be able to.
Francisco is the defender, but defense.
Oh, it was Von Karma?
The first day it was Edgeworth. Just for the first day. She got shot.
She got shot, so it was Edgeworth the first day, and then she came back second day.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm completely misunderstanding. Either way, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Kazuma wants us to defend because he knows that Ryunosuke is the only person that will be able to like challenge him enough to get the actual truth of the situation out in a way that's not going to implicate somebody else.
Theory noted. Where are we going?
Ooh, I don't know. We got to go to prison. Time's almost done.
Prison governor's office?
No, actual prison.
Lord Van Zeeks is still reading that letter.
We've been gone quite some time, though.
Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I might even be able to read English faster than he can.
I was intending to ignore you entirely.
but I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Nipponese.
I love it. Did you hear what just happened, or were you kind of half distracted?
Yeah, that they were making fun of him for how some.
Yeah, Rianowski is like,
slow
wow,
reader.
he must be a slow reader if he's still reading that same letter from earlier. I might be able to read English faster than him. It's like, I was going to ignore you. But
But now you're roasting me?
oh, sorry, I didn't think you'd heard that.
I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them past the time.
Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow.
Yeah, cool name. We are rude to him.
Which is none of your business.
So, have you found a lawyer?
How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you.
In other words, no.
We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided.
I'd expect nothing less, though I have no idea who it is.
It's
It's
going to be Kazuma Sogi.
Ba ba ba! Asogi!
That made the color drain from his face.
Did they have any color? Well then. Seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. Bam, bam, bam,
Asogi!
bam, bam. 10 years ago, my older brother, who was a director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't cuss the name Asogi.
Kensen Ashogi was Kazuma-sama's father.
Yes, or we're aware of this.
So what a cruel twist of fate is it now, 10 years later?
Like, who talks like that? Like, just turns to the other person that you were with when you found this out and be like, oh yeah, that person was this other person's father. Like, we were there together a week ago when we learned this. Who talks like that?
The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court.
I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you.
If that's what he does, no doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset.
But what could he have been hoping to achieve?
Let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that?
Asogi.
Huh.
I had to look it up. I'm sorry.
What?
The term kangaroo court hadn't been used until 1849.
Then that's lines up with this.
I thought this was in the 1600s.
No, this is the end of the 1800s. This is like an 1890 something.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Because the whole thing is the Great Exhibition is at the turn of the 20th century.
Okay. I was like, something's up with this, and I can't.
No, it's fine.
I think the French Revolution was the 1600s, right? I'm still thinking about. My brain is just stuck in the French Revolution now. I can't help it.
Not a good place for a brain to be stuck.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. That name is a very epitome of my bane.
Epitome?
Epitome.
Epitome.
I've heard epitome.
Okay, but it's epitome.
Listen. epitome. I'll look it up. The Bane that is Uniponese.
You don't need to spend the whole stream looking stuff up.
Sorry, I can't help it.
Right, your hatred of all us Japanese. Is there a cool name asked if there's at least cake?
Fun fact. The quote is actually mistranslated for what Marie Antoinette actually said. But
Is let them eat croissants. No.
Brioche, specifically, actually. Not a croissant, a brioche. But yeah, for some reason, they translated it as cake.
Brioche is kind of cakey.
It's a sweeter bread, sure. But I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Stop looking them up. Just read your lines.
Brioche.
Van Zeeks.
I've only just been appointed as prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecution, was hunting down a mass murderer. Do we have to learn about the etymology of Clint?
I
Did we talk
mean,
about that?
we could.
You asked me about every single other name in this game.
Yeah, but I haven't because it might have spoilers for the last case, so I didn't look it up.
It's Swedish for cornflower. Is that
Clint?
a spoiler? Yeah.
I don't know if that's a spoiler. I haven't finished the final case yet.
It's also Swedish for steep sloped mountaintop.
That's a spoiler.
The game's gonna have to deal with some steep sloped mountaintops.
No, his brother is now a steep sloped mountaintop. He's reincarnated.
And with cornflowers all over it.
No, there's no cornflowers.
There's no cornflowers? Oh man.
That's a red herring. The Swedes made that word just to throw you off.
back during the Viking Age, when language was starting to fossilize, at the very least language as we know it today, some Viking went to another Viking and was like, cornflower. And people are like, cornflower. That's my joke. That's it.
The so-called professor. Professor Cornflower.
Professor Cornflower.
He's a Pokemon professor.
Right. I mean, he would be a Pokemon professor. If they ever make a Pokemon game based in Sweden, if he's not Professor Cornflower, I'm not interested.
I wonder what the professor of Scarlet and Nexus or whatever will be. Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Nexus.
It's a tree. I don't know any Spanish trees. Professor Spanish Oak.
Spanish. Assigned to the investigation as his partner. Was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard.
That was Jen Shinisogi?
Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong. Oh, how awful.
This is like the creepiest lullaby I've ever heard.
It's because it's in a minor key, I think. To avenge my brother, I prosecuted Inosuke's trial.
As an experiment, I want to raise a child listening only to this lullaby and see how they turn out.
Do the professors all have to be trees specifically?
I think they've all been trees. Aside
Could be
from
avocado.
what?
Could be avocado.
Professor Avocado. I doubt it.
Professor Aguacate. Professor Fresno. Aliso.
Oh, probably be Fresno to reference the street in this game.
Yeah. Alconorque. Olmo. Enebro. But that would be Juniper, so.
Tababuya.
Tabebuya. It's coming through with that booyah.
And Zeke still have lines.
I would not really be there, but a legal test. Scribe prosecution until you presented. Oh my gosh, it might be! Jacaranda, it's the purple flowered common in Andalusia.
Is that a tree?
It's a tree!
Jacaranda?
Yeah. A hurricane of jacarandas. Lin-Manuel Miranda predicted it.
He's studying
What do you-
hurricanes. Or she? Guess she.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many cool names. Abebuche is also a name, and it's also in the song. What do you mean by the Scribe Professor?
Sundew is also in the song. It is not a tree.
It's
But
a line.
I want a Professor Sundew though.
Yum, 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 yum. The man in charge of the professor's case is Inquiry, male Strongheart.
God, I'm losing track of what they.
Yeah,
We're taking too
we've
long.
been hot goofing.
Wait, what? Lord Strongheart?
He was a highly accomplished professor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me, act as my advisor instead.
He was also a highly accomplished prosecutor.
Prosecutor. I don't have my glasses on. I stopped emailing. I'm paying attention now. It's not my fault. Since that time, he's the one professor.
Every
even
P
on
word is
purpose.
not professor.
That wasn't even on purpose. I'm sorry. Since that time, he's the one person to whom I felt indebted.
Cool name. In regards to your dad, why did you want a kid for science? Quote. That is precisely why Lindhart wanted kids in his ending with Flane in Three Houses.
Yeah, but that's like his great-great-grandmother. It's kind of yikes.
Are they?
Yeah,
No.
it's passed by blood.
Yeah, no, but no, because she's not even human, so. The crests were gotten to humans by, like, grafting or some weird experiment. I don't remember the details.
It's by budding.
I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor.
I was getting ready for you to say recognize your professor as a professor.
Don't start with me. Anyway, time passed. But earlier this year, who should have arrived in London but you?
Ah!
And of all things, as a lawyer.
I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese. Especially Japanese lawyers.
Japanese professors. Ugh. I keep telling myself that was a lot. It was a lot. For so many years, that hatred had festered inside me. I could no longer control it.
And I can understand why, now that I know the history.
But in the same way that I've longed to feel, the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life. To Kazuma Sogi, I am the bane of his. The Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow. Oh, Gregsy.
Gregsy? I hardly knew he.
No! Gregson's transfer to the Paris Police Prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming months. 3 Ps, and I said them all right. See? I could do it. He'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy.
Yeah, that's the tragedy here. But yes, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he?
I wonder, does it happen often? People being transferred internationally?
It's the first time I've ever encountered it.
Oh.
The Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. I was gonna say it like Princess Bride. But I didn't feel like I think it was in poor taste. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement into place.
It sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed.
I'm afraid to say that we are very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend in Scotland Yard.
Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself. By uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, a discovery would have never been made.
What sort of approach?
After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy.
Oh my, 10 years ago?
Why is that so surprising?
Autopsy was considered desecration of the body at the time and rarely performed. And my brother was, of course, a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. Oh, yeah, dang. I just thought about it. Like, I'm sure that's crazy.
What?
That, like you said, like autopsies were like kind of like a weird like social like taboo, like, and he was a noble, which was a pretty high class society, so like he probably had to ask Von Zieks for permission, and Von Zieks was like, do it. Like that's pretty cool. I don't know, I
don't think he just needed Van Zieks' permission, probably.
Well, yeah, but I think it's like, it's one of those things. I don't know, we don't have to get into it. It's a fun game, fun times. I'm getting a little dark. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigation made him determine it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords. I could avenge my brother's death.
So you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then.
And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life.
I don't have confidence in anyone.
Oh.
Does it feel like he just wants to be difficult?
I know, right? Like this didn't. They definitely felt like it came out of left field. I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I've no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of the Lords.
What really went on between Lord Van Zieks and Gregson, I wonder? What was the true nature of the relationship? About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene.
Yes. That's not mine.
I don't think that was the tone, but it was great.
I know. I tried to add some levity.
Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is.
Yeah, no, that's not mine. What are you expecting me to say to that?
No, I mean, he's got a point. Like, it's like, that wasn't my gun. Really? Most people said it was.
What do you want me to say?
Okay,
It's not.
cool. Like,
That's so funny. Lord Strongheart. Sorry.
Susanoo.
Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm.
As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true.
When did you lose it then?
That, I don't know. Oh! I was issued with a revolver when I first became prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose, or left it somewhere, perhaps.
Like, I don't know, within the last 10 years?
Like, I don't know.
You have something in common with Lord Van Zeeks after all, Mr. Naruhodo. A talent for misplacing things.
No, this has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it.
Don't make the same mistake of associating me with this Nipponese. Ugh.
Oh dear, the rift is very wide, isn't it?
So it's not decisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure.
This is definitely a will they, won't they?
Okay, now...
Show him the picture.
Mr. Vigil?
Yeah, no.
Too late! You said yeah!
Oh no! What's that?
It's just something I was hoping to ask your opinion about, that's all.
It's a serious crime for the defense to attempt to extract information from the prosecution via the...
Alright, I get the message. I don't see what's illegal about me asking. From the prosecutor?
weird.
You're not...
Yeah, I think this is just like a weird line from the first time we interacted with him.
So you meant Greg sees photograph?
Machi. Yeah. That's unfortunate that they didn't think they would.
I don't know, I think it was funnier there. Lord Van Zeeks, we came by this old photograph.
Where'd you get that?
Came by this old photograph.
Every time I see it, it makes me angry. My eyes get wet because I remember the death of my brother.
Jeez.
What the heck was on Gregson's head? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assume it was long lost.
Is the man on the left there?
Yes, that's my brother. Clint. Cling clang.
Clint Claint. Clint Claint. That doesn't work.
Clint Clant.
It had to be, really. Apparently this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know. Were you aware of that?
Respect? That's nonsense.
No, that's Sparta. No, we've heard something from a test to it very clearly. Inspector Gina Lestrade, no less.
Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time. Things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matters. Do you ever hang out with your bros and just discuss justice?
Not just justice, the future of justice.
And
I-
other lofty subject matters.
You know what? I think sometime me and you do need to have a discussion about the future of justice.
Oh my gosh, I feel like that's a very pointed statement. And I will not change my raccoon ways. I am a squirrely boy, and I like to hide things in my cheeks to keep them over the winter. I don't know where that went. I am sorry.
Yeah, this is why we need to discuss it.
That was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you.
I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle. An insight into the true nature of the man known to all as the Stone Cold Reaper of the Bailey.
He smiled once. Mr. Naruto. Gross.
Oh, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name.
I was gonna say, it's kind of disgusting. I don't like it.
At this point,
Oh.
you're more comfortable with him saying my learned friend?
Oh god.
Or my learned Nipponese friend?
The fact that he's not just being like a gross racist somehow is worse. Ugh. I've lost all confidence in my country's justice. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers.
You're just like, ew, character progression.
Ew, stop being nice.
Stop learning to be a better person.
Can you just please insult me? But there's one thing I'm willing to believe in.
What's that?
You. That which you see in the eyes of another. A simple determination to know the truth.
What you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. I think he's flirting. I think this is attempt at flirting.
I think so.
Lord Van Zeeks.
From the first time we clashed in the Bailey almost a year ago now. I couldn't deny, even though I dearly wish I could. Here is a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity. Here's a loathsome Nipponese. Oh yeah, here's a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. There are two other men I've known with that same
His two X's.
Professor Hairbrain
No.
and my brother Clint. Don't think about it too hard. My brother Clint and Genshin Otogi.
His two X's.
Oh no!
Especially since he was a minor at the time when he knew Genshin.
Disgusting.
The man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way.
The man he idolized and the man he betrayed his trust. When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me.
You mean this photograph? Right here. This photograph, dramatic photograph of your brother. This one?
The photograph that you'd rather not look at ever again because it makes you think about your brother's trauma.
Oh, I don't think he has trauma anymore. But you do.
No. So bad. Back when I was able to laugh.
Why is it funny? I don't get it.
That's so edgy. Shadow the Hedgehog. Maria.
I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe he is Edgeworth's ancestor.
He has to be.
The
He has to
edge
be.
is hereditary.
He probably had a daughter, so he lost the family name.
And
Well,
somehow
Edgeworth-
became and like everybody that married into his family at that point was always Japanese, so like Edgeworth is just like 2% English.
Is Edgeworth canonically Japanese? I
Yeah.
thought he was like a British expat.
No, they're both Japanese.
Oh, I really did think he was a British expat.
No. Why? Just because he wears a is it an
He
ascot?
wears like a suit and an ascot. I don't know. It was weird. I
No,
thought he
he
was British.
no. His last name is it?
It's Edgeworth.
No, I mean
The Dr. Pepper's
Japanese.
on Karma.
Uh,
Oh, like in game.
Mitsurugi. Reiji Mitsurugi.
Reiji. Wow.
R-E-I-G R-E-I-J-I. Reiji?
Yeah, I know Reiji. Reiji is a very edgy character in the Persona timeline, so I'm very well acquainted.
Yeah, Reiji Mitsurugi is his Japanese name. Okay, well, I think you only read half of this, so.
Back when I was able to laugh, I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now.
Well, you're not done.
I look to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at the time, the mire into which I've sunk made it almost impossible to breathe.
I'm so sorry. That's rough, buddy.
that's rough, buddy. Oh, my eyes are real gunky. Sorry. So, Mr. Naruhodo.
That's the that's the justice in your eyes.
You know that Edgeworth is actually younger than we are?
Oh yeah. I mean, no, not in current time, but
He was born in 1992.
oh yeah, well, I mean, because current games are still in the future, so.
Are they? When does the timeline recon?
Well, I mean, because the third game in the original trilogy was 2018, I think, and then the next game was like 8 years in the future, so we're like late 2020s, almost 2030 at this point in the timeline.
I want to believe that look in your eyes. I need to believe it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me?
Of course I will. It would be an honor.
I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo.
Then my life is in your hands.
For Lord Van Zeeks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask, which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, in the Old Bailey, against my old friend, Kazuma.
Yeah, his oldest appearance is in 2027, so we're almost there. I needed to know.
Fair.